Hello, my name is Peter Phelps of Phelps 3D, and we're going to discuss how to use FreeCAD 0.16 to create an object using negative space. Alright, so let's go ahead and get right to it. I've already created an untitled document, and I am in the part workbench. Create a cube. We're going to make the width of this 40 millimeters. We're going to make the height of it 20. And I'm going to switch over to the part design workbench. I'm going to click the top and the bottom closest edges, and I'm going to chamfer those 5 millimeters. Say OK. Then we're going to switch over so we can see the back. And we're going to select it. There we go. And create a new sketch. Do it. And basically, we just want to sketch something that looks like a fish. Make sure it highlights yellow so that we're pre-selecting, making sure we close this and hit escape. Okay, and then we're going to close that. But instead of padding it, if you pad it, you're going to just go into it. We'll switch back our view to we're going to switch over to part, and what we're going to do is we're going to click on the sketch. We're going to extrude that sketch along the x-axis. Create a solid, and we're going to make that 25. So it should be bigger than the original block. I probably didn't have to do 25. And change it down to 15. Doesn't really matter as long as it's bigger than the other object. And what we're going to do is we're going to click extrude, and we're going to click the chamfer, and we're going to use the common. That leaves just what was overlapping. Okay, and then what we're going to do is we're going to click on this top here. We'll go back over to part design, and we're going to create a new sketch. Out a little. And I'm going to make 2 sketches here. Just drag this over. Another one, triangle. So basically, we're going to cut these 2 triangles out of the little pocket. I'm going to go save through all. Say OK. Okay, and so our fish is taking some form, and what I'm going to do is switch back to looking at the back of it. Select the face here and create a sketch. I'm going to use the slot tool over here. And give them an eye. I'm going to move this down. There we go. We're going to pocket that through it. Okay. And back electric. And what we could do is we could give it some fins. I'm going to select that one. Select it. And we're going to use the slot tool again. Zoom in a little. Hit escape. And I think I want to move these more going down. Going Okay, I'm going to pad that, but only 1 millimeter. Then if you want, we could use a torus. The torus has two different radiuses. One radius controls the overall size of the circle, and then the other radius determines how thick the donut part of it is, the circle. So what I'm going to do is just say 1.5 or how thick I want it. Just makes it a little smaller. Then the overall radius I'm going to bring down to about 4. Makes a very small circle. And then what I'm going to do is I'm going to rotate that along the y-axis by 90 degrees. And then I can move it based on its position. Let's move it, let's see. We made it overall 40 millimeters long, so let's move that to y position of 20. I should put it pretty much in the middle. And then we've had that 20 millimeters tall, so let's put it at 20. And then it was only 10 millimeters wide, so we'll put that at 5. Okay. That gives us like a loop if you wanted to make this a necklace or pendant or some sort of ornament, or even probably a kid's toy. It could be used as a kid's toy. Now, if I was going to actually print this on something like Shapeways, I would make sure that my little slots that I made for the fin up front is actually 1 millimeter wide, and I would probably take and go into this section, and I would probably do another sketch. I'll go ahead and do it just to show you what I would do. For the part design, create a sketch on that face, and zoom in, move it a little. The thing to watch out for is that you want it to be about a millimeter within the outer wall. What we're going to do is we're going to pocket this. It's about 1 meter in. We're probably going to only pocket it 3-4 millimeters. You still want it to be at least a millimeter in from where we made our cuts here. What happened here? Seems to be missing a line. Connected. Make sure that it's it's all close it now. Just in case, I'm going to check what the distance is. Okay, so it's just shy of 6 millimeters. So if we take only 4 millimeters out, we should be good. We should have almost 2 millimeters still as far as spacing between it and I'll select the distances. So switch back over. And we're going to take the sketch and we're going to pocket. But we only want 4. Say okay. What that does is if you try to 3D print using Shapeways, you don't want to pay for extra material. So if you can, you hollow it out some while keeping the same sort of shape. And then what we're going to do is we're going to take and select the torus and select the pocket we just created, and we're going to fuse those together. That way they should print as one part. Now we're going to call this, save it, file save. And I'm just going to call it fish pendant. We're going to go file, export, fish pendant. And so you kind of think it should understand how to think about something in ways of taking stuff away from another object. That's what the whole purpose of this negative space tutorial is about, is to try to think of how you would cut something from something else to create what you're after. There's, most of the time we're talking additive, you add a bunch of stuff, you fuse it together, but you should also be able to think of how you cut something from something else to get a more complex object. And then we're going to open up the fish pendant in NetFab. Basic. Oops. I didn't make sure I was in STLs when I output that, did I? I don't know why I switched to one, but it did. Well, STL mesh. That's why you check that box before you output. Okay, and it doesn't show any problems with the file. No. Just for the heck of it, I'm going to use the rotate tool, and I'm going to put this on the y-axis 90. Nope, I should have went 270. Okay, and I'm gonna flip it around so it's a bit better. The z-axis. And part export. Yeah, go ahead. And that's it for this is now ready to be 3D printed. And if I was going to 3D print this on an FDM machine, I would use supports because I hollowed it out. But if you wanted to for an FDM, you don't have to make that back cut into the object. But if you wanted to try to 3D print it through Shapeways, because they use, you could use like aluminum or stainless steel or any of their other metals, then you really want to try to cut down on the amount of material you're going to use when you actually 3D print it. The 3.76 centimeters cubed that the NetFab shows you as your volume, that's what they're going to base their charge on, is the amount of space, because they usually 3D print solid, whereas your normal FDM 3D printers, a lot of times we print it like 10% infill or any other percentage inside that it's not solid. We don't have to use as much material. So it all depends on what you're designing for, what type of project you're working on. I've done several jewelry type projects recently, and yeah, it does make a difference whether or not you trying to hollow out the part as much as possible as far as cost. Thank you for watching, and see you next time.